This is super duper informal. We are just here answering questions about hormones, menopause, perimenopause, hormone replacement therapy, the Healthy Hormone Club, which is our hormone replacement program here at Glow Natural Wellness. But really anything goes tonight. I want to start hormones. Should I remove the Mirena first? So the Mirena is basically anytime you're on like a birth control, which is what the Mirena is, and even though you're not using it for birth control, you're using it for other purposes, you're basically blocking your own hormones. You're blocking your body's ability to make its own hormones, and you're making these synthetic fake hormones, which are actually like 100 or not 10, probably 10 to 15 to 20 times stronger than anything that you would do in like menopause hormone replacement therapy. And they are synthetic, so they're slightly different than the hormones that your body makes. So they don't have as many benefits and they do come with more risks. So anytime you can go with a bioidentical to what your body makes. So when I say bioidentical, all that means is the chemical structure of the hormone that you're putting in your body or on your body, however you're delivering it. Hormones can be delivered topically through the skin. They can be delivered orally. They can be delivered via injection. In this case, it's via intrauterine device or IUD. Now, anytime they can be chemically exact in structure to what your body is used to making, what your body is expecting, the hormones that a human woman makes, anytime they can be identical to that, it's always better, because there's going to be less issues, less side effects, less negative detrimental things down the road. Anytime it can be identical, it's going to actually work with your body to support health, to support anti-aging. Now, the other part of it was you are being treated for breast cancer currently, and your oncologist said you're not allowed to be on HRT. You can totally keep getting second opinions, but I have to defer to what your clinical team is saying, just because I am not personally treating you. Do we have women who have breast cancer who do use hormone replacement therapy? Yes, we do, but it's also with the blessing of their care team and everybody's on board. And there's a lot of research now that shows that quality of life improves, long-term longevity, risks of other diseases improve. So there's a lot of benefits. But at the same time, you have to also trust your team. If you don't trust your team, look for another team that can help you. So hopefully that's helpful. Probably not exactly what you wanted to hear, but I just have to be 100% honest and really support you. But we are here to support you. And if you do want to venture out and you do find that you want to support your body with bioidentical hormones, we can definitely help you, but do make sure that you get the support of your care team. Maybe wait until your breast cancer is stabilized and you're no longer on any hormone suppressive medications. And then once you're not actively trying to suppress your hormones, then you can work on balancing your hormones, if that makes sense. And my mom is a breast cancer survivor on BHRT and is now prevention for the future health. Yes, exactly. So that's what all the research is showing now. So old research used to think that hormones cause cancer because they put all hormones, the word hormones, all of them in the same box. This meaning hormones coming from horses that are nothing like hormones coming from women, hormones that were synthetically made, that were made of chemical compounds that are nothing like what our body makes. They're putting those in the same category as actual estrogen and actual progesterone. And so they were putting these progestins and these conjugated equine estrogens and these estradiol ethanols and all these weird compounds in the same category. So the incidence of cancer, specifically breast cancer, does increase. There's a significant increase for women on these synthetic hormones that are taking these synthetic hormones orally, especially if they also combine that with alcohol consumption, with a sedentary lifestyle, with being obese. So all these things are factors as well, just as much as the hormones. However, all the valid research to date has shown that women using real estrogen, estradiol and estriol, and real progesterone are actually, they decrease their risk. And even without hormone replacement therapy, women who had more pregnancies throughout their life, so women who actually naturally had higher levels of estrogen at different times in their life, those women have lower risk of breast cancer. And so anytime you can increase your natural or bioidentical levels of estrogen and progesterone, you're actually reducing your risk. It's the times when you are not having those, but more importantly, I would say besides the hormones, more importantly is removing toxins from your lifestyle, getting exercise every day, drinking your water, reducing stress, avoiding alcohol consumption, really making sure that you're maintaining like a healthy, clean lifestyle. That is far more dangerous than any hormones you can take, having those things out of line. But yes, together it's powerful. So a healthy lifestyle plus bioidentical hormones, so you can be unstoppable. And that's why in our Healthy Hormone Club, yes, we offer bioidentical hormones, easy, hassle-free, delivered to your door. We test your hormones to make sure you're getting the right amount. And then you can meet with your hormone specialist as much as you want. But we also include the lifestyle piece. So you have your Healthy Hormone Academy, which is going to teach you how to eat for menopause, this time in your life where it's not the same as when you're in your 20s. You have to adjust your macronutrients. You have to eat in a way that's going to support hormone detox. And then how to exercise, a little different than you did before. Stress reduction, pelvic floor therapy, all kinds of awesome lifestyle information that's included as well, because it's just as important. And so hopefully that makes sense. Awesome. How do you transfer someone already on HRT to the Healthy Hormone Club? So it's really simple. We look at what you're currently taking, whether it be oral hormones or patch or pellet, no matter what it is, we look at what you're currently taking. We assess your symptoms on what you're currently taking, and then we test your levels on what you're currently taking. So we'll have you take your last dose of, or not your last dose, we'll have you dose your hormones as you normally would, and then we'll test you within a certain window of that dose so we can see where your levels are on your current dose of hormones. And we'll see where your symptoms are on your current dose of hormones. We'll look at the test results, we'll look at your symptoms, and then we'll know where to put you on your new hormones. So if you're changing delivery method, like if you're changing from an oral to a cream or an oil or whatever you're changing to, there might be a little transition time because your body has to get used to that new delivery method, but it can be matched pretty easily. And especially if you're still having symptoms on your current delivery method, then you might see a massive improvement on a different delivery method. And topical hormones, just so you know, the reason why we really favor those in the Healthy Hormone Club is because they have the lowest risk profile, almost zero risk. Doesn't go through your digestive system and your liver, so there's no harmful metabolites that are formed. You use less topical hormones than you do use oral hormones because a lot gets lost in that process of swallowing it, going through your digestion, going through your liver. So then you're just dealing with the metabolites basically going to your cells. Whereas when you use it topically, it goes straight into the bloodstream, straight to the tissues. So you're able to use less, and it's just, there's less side effects overall. And if you have digestive issues, if you have liver toxicity issues, you don't have to worry about any of that. That's why it has a better safety profile. There's no risk of clotting. So we get a lot of issues about people who have factor V, or they have a autoimmune condition where they're more prone to clotting and strokes, or they have a history of stroke, and their doctor says, you can't use hormones. And their doctor, again, is lumping hormones all into one category, meaning oral hormones, topical hormones, transdermal hormones, all the hormones in one category, whereas topical transdermal delivery, that has no increased risk of stroke, no increased risk of clotting, because it's the metabolites in the liver that cause that from the oral use. So if you're using topical or transdermal hormones, you have absolutely no risk. Let's see. Estrogen Matters. Yes, Tracy says Estrogen Matters is a great book. It's written by an oncologist, which is amazing. So you can find it on Amazon. And also there is an online PDF by Dr. Lindsay Berkson, who is an amazing researcher. She wrote a big paper that was published in multiple journals called Estrogen Vindication. And it's really nice because it brings all the studies in, but she puts it in pretty easy to understand language. So thanks for posting that in the chat. I only see hormone capsules on your website. I don't have any hormone capsules on my website. So you might be looking at our supplements and the Healthy Hormone Club. If you go to healthyhormoneclub.com, you will see the program. There's bioidentical hormone creams. And we also now have some oils as well, sublingual oils. So we have some other options coming as well, but mostly topical creams is what we use in the Healthy Hormone Club. Can you talk about shrinking fibroids? Everything I read says stay away from estrogen. How does BHRT using estrogen help with fibroids? So it's all about balance. So estrogen dominance is a state where you're either making too much estrogen and you're making a normal amount of progesterone, and now you have this dominance of estrogen. It's taking over, right? It's the dominant hormone. You really want balance. Or you can have a case where you're making a normal amount of estrogen, but you're hardly making any progesterone. And so estrogen's still dominant because you got more estrogen in relation to your progesterone. There's no balance. So it's like a seesaw, right? So if estrogen's at the top and progesterone's at the bottom, that's estrogen dominance. So that's not good. What you want is you want balance. So in the case of something like fibroids, that a lot of time does have to do with estrogen dominance, but a lot of times it also has to do with xenoestrogens. So these are fake estrogens in the environment, plastics, phthalates, chemicals in beauty products, cleaning products, pesticides, herbicides. So we see a lot of fibroids due to those issues. It's not actually estrogen, they're estrogen mimickers. So that's one thing that you have to look at when you're dealing with fibroids. But if, let's say it is due to an imbalance of estrogen to progesterone, one of the best ways to fix that imbalance is one, open up your detox pathways. So using something like our Daily Glow product, which has your B vitamins, has your DIM to help with phase 1 and 2 estrogen detox. Eating fiber helps with phase 3 estrogen detox, and then also supporting your progesterone. So progesterone is the hormone that usually declines first. So when you hit perimenopause, it can be in your 30s, it can be in your 40s. Your progesterone goes like this, like just a slope down. Your estrogen kind of goes, so it's erratic. It goes like up and down, but progesterone is just a slope down. So progesterone is the one that is going to go first. And so for a lot of women, they might start experiencing these estrogen dominant symptoms. I just like totally did that to my necklace. They might start experiencing these estrogen dominant type symptoms, and they really need to balance it out. So you want to balance by supporting your progesterone levels, and that's where hormone replacement can come in. Now, I do have an article on my website. If you go to fixedhormones.com, you go to the blog and you search fibroids, you will see I give like lifestyle strategies to reduce fibroids, and then also how hormones come into play. Let's see. I'm 48 years old, perimenopause, losing my hair. It's brittle. Taking progesterone topically, but it's not working. I'm suspecting I have endometriosis. I have painful intercourse. What would you want to know as a doctor with my scenario in terms of testing? Should I do in order now to test my levels? I would definitely test your levels for sure. If you're using like an over-the-counter progesterone, a lot of times, one, it may not have the amount of hormone that it says it has, and two, it may not have a really great delivery cream. We had to work really hard with our lab to get the right formula and to get the hormones to get into the skin. Anyone can put a hormone into a moisturizer, but that doesn't mean it's going to actually get into your skin. So that is a science, there's a science to that. And so you may not be really absorbing it, but the best way to know is to test your levels. So get a hormone test. We offer the hormone trio test on our website that will test your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. We also offer the Dutch test, which is going to be a dry urine test for comprehensive hormones. Not the best for testing topical hormones. So I'd actually recommend the trio test for this. And you can see like where your hormones are at. Now, if you join the Healthy Hormone Club, we include those tests with the hormones. So either way, if you wanted to see, and then also where is your testosterone at? Is that balanced as well? Losing your hair a lot of times is due to androgen dominance. So we just talked about estrogen dominance, right? A lot of people talk about that, but androgen dominance is another thing. So when we hit perimenopause, our progesterone starts declining, our estrogen also starts declining. And for some women, their DHEA and testosterone stay the same because that's made mostly by your adrenal glands, a little bit by your ovaries. Now, if the testosterone stays at a normal level, but your estrogen and progesterone drop, that actually does a lot of times cause that hair loss. It causes something called follicular miniaturization. It sounds horrible, and it is horrible. It's actually where your hair follicles shrink and shrivel up and die, and you're not making any more hair. It also could be just a fact of where your thyroid might be low. So thyroid is another hormone that's really important for the growth of your hair. So looking at your thyroid levels, a lot of times low thyroid coincides with the time of life when we also are going into perimenopause and menopause. So looking at that as well can be really helpful. Let's see, I have dense breasts. I'm concerned about pellet estrogen replacement. I would never do pellets for estrogen replacement. Not a big fan of pellets. Pellets are highly unregulated, and pellets are like mega doses of hormones. So with hormones in women, everyone's different. So there's not a, oh, you're a 48-year-old woman in perimenopause, here's your dose of hormones, the same dose we give everybody else. That's not how hormones work, because everybody's a little bit different. Everybody reacts to hormones differently. Everybody has a different way they metabolize their hormones. Every person is different, and everyone's dose is going to be slightly different. With pellets, you just get the dose everyone gets, and you get a mega dose. So you get all these hormones rushing into your system right away. It's like a little surgical procedure. So they have to create a little scar in your skin. They put the pellet in, and it's set it and forget it. So if that dose does not do well for you, you are stuck with it for 3 to 4 months as you're waiting for it to wear off. And even if the dose does do well for you, you have to wait 3 or 4 months for it to wear off. And so you're just going through times of declining hormones. And so pellets are not my favorite. Most of my colleagues that are well trained in menopause support in hormone replacement therapy, none of them are fans of pellets. Pellets are usually, people who do pellets are usually, they're like med spa owners, or they're doctors who are looking to make some extra money because it's just, they don't really have to know that much about hormones. They just need to take a weekend course where they come and they show you how to insert the pellet. It's very lucrative as a procedure, in office procedure, and you don't really need much training because you're just putting the pellet in. You're just giving everybody pretty much the same dose, and that's it. And then you just wait. And if they say they feel good, you're like, okay, we'll give you the same dose next time. If they say they feel horrible, we'll try less next time. And that's pretty much how it works. So no, don't do pellets. I really highly don't like pellets. I don't care who you do your hormones with, but pellets, no, definitely not estrogen pellets. Would not do it. Let's see, bioidentical hormones, they help with bone density and treating depression. Absolutely. Number one reason for osteoporosis is estrogen deficiency. So replacing your estrogen and topical transdermal is the best delivery route for estrogen. That is going to definitely increase bone density over time. It does take time. So you have to, your bones don't like just build themselves overnight. So being on an adequate dose for you, estrogen, estradiol, and also balancing it with your progesterone, your testosterone, they all play a role in bone building, along with resistance training, along with eating adequate amounts of protein, and along with getting your minerals. Those things all together will build your bones, reverse osteoporosis, reverse osteopenia. And then depression, number one, depression is such a huge symptom of perimenopause and menopause. It is almost across the board a symptom. And unfortunately, when women go into their primary care, their OB/GYN, or whatever doctor they're seeing, and they are in their late 30s, early 40s, early 50s, and they start complaining of depression, the first thing they're given is an antidepressant. They're not talked about how when your progesterone drops, when your estrogen drops, it affects your brain chemicals, it affects your mood. It's definitely going to affect your mental stability, your mental health. It affects your memory. It can affect your confidence. And it's so easy to just look and see you're deficient in these hormones that are so important for your brain, so important for your heart, so important for your bones, so important for collagen, your skin, so important for your hair, so important for your metabolism. we just look at, oh, you're feeling depressed, here's an antidepressant. Oh, you have pain, here's a painkiller. Oh, you have this, let's give you this thing to stop it. That is literally just treating symptoms. It's not treating us as women, and it's doing nothing to help our future health. Because when you treat one symptom, if the actual deficiency, the actual reason for the symptom happening is not addressed, guess what? More symptoms come out down the line. This, if you've watched my hormone restoration masterclass, I talk about it like a smoke alarm, right? So your symptoms are just your body telling you like, hey, Maria, there's like something going on in here. Something's not right. Can you check our levels? Can you do something to look? I'm going to annoy you with this symptom until you take a look and help me out. That's what your body's saying. And it's just if you're in your house and you're just hanging out and all of a sudden the smoke alarm starts going off, fire alarm, and you're like, oh my God, is there a fire? And you're looking around, you might smell a little smoke, but you're not sure. So you call 911. You're like, my fire alarm is going off. I think there's a fire in my house. I'm starting to smell a little smoke. And they're like, oh, okay, no problem. Here's what you're going to do. Do you have a little step stool or something? You're like, yeah, I got a step stool. So I want you to go over, put step stool under the fire alarm. I want you to go over and I want you to take the battery out. And you're like, what? You want to take the battery out? They're like, yeah, that will solve your problem of the alarm going off. And you're like, the problem is not the alarm. The problem is my house is going to burn down. And that is what's going on when we're doing this antidepressant for the depression. We are not treating the root cause. We are not putting out the fire. And so that's why I'm a huge advocate for hormone replacement therapy, because women live the majority, at least half their lives, in a hormone deficient state nowadays. It used to be that our lifespan wasn't that much longer than menopause. It used to be that we would get to our 50s and we wouldn't live much longer. So we only lived like 2, 5, 10 years at most in menopause. But now average life expectancy is like 89 years old. And so if we start going to perimenopause in our 40s, that's half of our life. And hormones, we have hormone receptors on our brain. We have hormone receptors on our hearts. We have hormone receptors on our bones, in our gut, in our skin, everywhere. And so we are detrimentally affecting all of those organs, all of those systems, and our quality of life, our relationships. There was a study that just came out that said 79% of divorces after age 40 are due to women attributed to their hormones, because they are not themselves anymore. And so it's just crazy. But anyway, I went on a tangent there. Let me get back to the questions. Awesome. Jen said she did pellets, didn't work for her. Yeah, I just hear over and over again. I do hear, I'm going to be completely honest, I do hear some women that are like, I love pellets. Pellets are awesome. They're usually women that are in their early 30s who are getting testosterone pellets to get more energy. And they already have tons of estrogen and progesterone. And so those women usually feel good for the first pellet, but know what happens? They gain weight. Because when you have too much testosterone, you start losing your hair and you gain weight and you get irritable. And so know what they're doing now? Now they're taking Ozempic or Wegovy or these other weight loss medications to deal with the weight loss from their testosterone pellet. And I'm just like, it's driving me crazy. But that is just to each his own. But when you're young, you're resilient, you can deal with that stuff. When you hit 35, 45, 55, 65, I'll speak from experience, you're not as resilient anymore. So you don't want to mess around with those things, because it can really mess with your mental state. You can mess with your metabolism, you can mess with your hair. It can just mess with your overall well-being. And you don't want to take a hormone therapy to throw your hormones off. You're trying to balance your hormones. You're trying to calibrate them. And a lot of people say like the whole concept of hormone balance is like a facade. And in that, it's true. Your hormones are never going to be like, okay, they're balanced. Now we're done. Set it and forget it. Just leave it. They're balanced. We never have to think about them again, because every bite you take, every move you make, every thought you have is a hormonal experience. So we're always the world and our genetics and the environment is always interacting with our hormones. So they're never like balanced and done, but we can achieve balance. We can constantly be balancing the hormones together so they are at good proportions to each other and they're working synergistically like a band playing. And that's how they work. So I heard that 24-hour urine testing is the most accurate way to test hormones. Can you speak on this compared to the way you test your hormones? Okay, so we do use 24-hour urine testing, which is in our practice, we use the Dutch test as a way for assessing hormones that are for women who are premenopausal or still cycling, not using any hormones. It is a great way to measure hormone metabolites. So we are measuring, and a variety of different hormones. So we're measuring your estrogen levels, how your estrogen breaks down, your testosterone, how your testosterone breaks down. We're measuring the metabolites of your progesterone. We can look at your cortisol, your melatonin. So there's a lot of great information. Now, the problem is what we're measuring the byproducts after the hormones have been used and then excreted in your urine. So we're measuring hormone metabolites. So progesterone, you don't even get a guesstimate of your progesterone level. You just get the metabolites. Estrogen, they're guesstimating what your total estrogen would have been based on the metabolites, and the same for testosterone. So the test is very valuable, but it's not a great way of assessing hormone replacement therapy, specifically for topical hormones. So when we are measuring your free and available levels of these hormones. So unbound, what your body is actually able to access and use. And then, of course, it would access and use that hormone, and then it would work its way through your system, eventually get excreted in your urine and be those metabolites. But I really want to know what's available for your body to use and what's in your tissues. So that's why. Let's see, I've heard that HRT cream applied to the labia is the most effective way to administer. When you apply HRT cream to it's not hormone replacement therapy when you're applying it to your labia, that is low dose vaginal local use. So that is great for improving the skin of your labia. However, if you want to improve systemic hormones, that is not going to help you. Using hormone replacement systemically, you don't want to apply it to your labia. You want to apply it to the areas of thin skin so it can get into your tissues. We do also offer products that are available outside of the Healthy Hormone Club, which are low-dose vaginal estrogen and low-dose vaginal DHEA that you can use on your vulva, on your labia, and also inside your vagina to help with vaginal dryness, to help with genital syndrome of menopause, urinary tract issues, genital issues, atrophy, UTIs, all the symptoms that happen to your vagina and your urinary tract and your vulva. That is great. Those low dose topical vaginal hormones are great for that scenario. But if you're going to you're trying to get your systemic benefits like bone health, brain health, hot flashes, all of that, that's not how I would recommend applying your hormones. Awesome. Do you have an information sheet or something that can provide information to my health retirement account for possible reimbursement? Okay. Oh, your HSA account or your health savings account, or I'm not sure what your health retirement account is. We're not in-house with any insurance companies, but what we do is we offer free visits. So basically in the Healthy Hormone Club, you're paying one low monthly fee, and that includes all of your testing, all of your hormones, and then unlimited visits that are free. A lot of times with insurance, they're not going to pay for your tests because they don't think testing is necessary, because women's hormones are crazy and they fluctuate. And so testing is not necessary is what most insurance companies will say. So they usually won't reimburse that, but they'll reimburse your visits, but your visits are free. It really is not really that much of a difference, but we do take what do they call the health savings accounts, HSA, and then FSA, which are flexible spending accounts. Like you usually get like a little credit card for those, and you can use those on our programs, specifically the Healthy Hormone Club. But we don't really work with any insurance companies. I mean, you can totally submit to your insurance company outside of us, but we try to keep the cost so low that it is lower than your copay for insurance. Let's see. But we can give you like an itemized receipt if that's what you're asking. Do you work with Hashimoto's postmenopausal women? Yes, there's a lot of women that are postmenopausal at Hashimoto's. I am right here. Let's see. I am not on thyroid meds. I use essential oils, nutrition, lifestyle. Awesome. That's actually really great because Hashimoto's is actually an immune system issue that is more, it's not necessarily originating in your thyroid. It's an autoimmune. So it's actually originating in your immune system and your gut. So I think that's great. Let's see. I feel my skin and joints. Let's see. I feel from my skin joints, just got diagnosed with osteoporosis. So I'm wondering if it's estrogen related. Yeah, so estrogen, like I think I said earlier, estrogen loss or estrogen deficiency is the #1 primary reason for osteoporosis. So if you are postmenopausal, like you said, even like I'm glad you're doing the oils, nutrition, lifestyle, that is going to get you so ahead, but none of that is going to increase your estrogen levels to a point where it's going to actually help you build that bone. So I would definitely consider bioidentical topical estrogen replacement and balancing, of course, with progesterone and make sure testosterone levels are balanced as well. And then continuing to support your autoimmune thyroid issue. And a lot of times with diet, lifestyle, stress reduction, toxin reduction, and the things that you're doing, most of the time that Hashimoto's can be put in remission without thyroid medication. Let's see. I'm currently taking BHRT pills. I've been taking them for approximately 5 to 6 months. Wonder if it would be better to be a part of the Healthy Hormone Club instead. Also, I just got my results of my epigenetic report and need to work through that. I would strongly advise against taking oral estrogen. So whether that's through the Healthy Hormone Club or whether you want to go back to your provider, whoever is prescribing your current hormone replacement therapy, and say, hey, I really feel strongly about not using oral estrogen. Is there a way we can use topical transdermal estrogen? And that's an option as well. But we would love to help you in the Healthy Hormone Club. That's our passion. So of course, we'd love to have you. But at the same time, if it's easier for you just to go back to your clinician and say, hey, can I get some oral topical estrogen over here? I don't want to take oral estrogen because of the risks associated. Then most practitioners would be more than happy to help you with that. But if your doctor's not, or you just want to go, you want the support, the ongoing testing and the ongoing support and the lifestyle practices that we share with you and all the little perks of being in the Healthy Hormone Club, we would love to have you. It's a great community. We have amazing hormone specialists. And we really are continuing to expand and add more resources to that program. We just started doing, we call them Healthy Hormone Happy Hours. So it's like this format, but a little bit more fun and a little more intimate, and just get together every month and just chit chat. Anyway, that's like a new little addition that's not really advertised for the Healthy Hormone Club. But yeah, we'd love to have you. And then yeah, your epigenetic report is going to be awesome. You're going to learn so much about yourself. I learned so much about myself just going against like my own nature. A lot of times you try to fit yourself into like the box that you think you're supposed to be in. Like, oh, everyone's doing keto, I should do the keto diet. But my genetics say I should eat carbs, or I should go to bed at this time, or I should try to sleep this many hours, but your genetics say differently. So it really is empowering to look at your genetics and your epigenetics. Awesome. All right, my daughter was on the Mirena IUD for 6 years, but falling off since it made her feel so bad for a few years. Is there anything she should do for herself post IUD? She feels better, but gained some weight. So I would definitely focus on healthy lifestyle, focus on detoxification. Really, depending on how old she is, sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder, especially college kids. It's really hard to get them to live like a clean lifestyle. But if she is on board, really focusing on being as clean and pure as possible. So focusing on the nutrients, like eating protein, fat, and fiber every meal, focusing on getting at least 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight, or a minimum of 100 grams of protein, focusing on getting 35 grams of fiber per day, drinking at least half her body weight in water, focusing on those healthy fats. When I say healthy fats, like omega-3s, things like olive oil and avocado oil, things like grass-fed butter, MCT oil, avoiding the hydrogenated vegetable oils, the canola oils, things like that, avoiding conventionally raised meats and animal products, avoiding a lot of the conventional grains. For grains, I really like rice is a really safe one, but doing things like sweet potatoes, things like that. Number one, looking at her personal care products, make sure those are as clean as possible. She doesn't have to switch everything right away because I know that can be expensive, but really trying to be as clean as possible. And then really optimizing detox. I would recommend Daily Glow, which is our multivitamin that has like, there's so many ingredients in there. Like I was actually just reading, I don't have it with me. I was reading Dave Asprey's new book. He's like the father of biohacking, and he has a section on supplements, and with the exception of one or two, every single supplement that he recommends for optimization is in Daily Glow. And so I was like, yes, that's right. But I put it all in there because for me, I don't like taking a lot of supplements, but that will help her with her estrogen detox, help with her mitochondrial health, help her with really like regenerating and helping support her natural hormone balance. So I'd recommend Daily Glow. I'd recommend clean lifestyle, toxin reduction, daily exercise, all the things that you probably already know, but just focusing on those is going to be great. Now, I would also test her hormones. As you said, it's been, I don't know, I would wait. It's been a few years that you said. So I would just test her hormones and see where she's at. She might need a little progesterone or something like that. But if her periods are normal and she's feeling good, doing the things that I said, adding in the Daily Glow, she probably will lose that weight that she gained as well as a side effect of just cleaning everything up. So hopefully that's helpful. See, I had the Mirena approximately 11 years. In the last year or so, I noticed my mood swings, depressed feelings, short temper became worse at a certain point in my cycle, approximately 1.5 to 2 weeks after menstruation. I'm happy with the Mirena, but what can I do to alleviate the other symptoms when needed as they are becoming problematic? I would actually measure your hormones to see what's going on, because Mirena isn't giving you all of your hormones. So you may, depending on how old you are, you may now need some estrogen support, you may need some testosterone support. So I would get a hormone test to see. Now your progesterone is probably going to be a little wonky because of the Mirena, but I would just get a hormone panel to see. They're letting us know if you do it through us or whoever you do it through, you'll note that you're on the Mirena. So we'll know that's takes into account, and that will be part of the test results and the reference ranges. We'll know that, but you might need support elsewhere as well, because that's not giving you all of your hormones. So hopefully that's helpful. Can you elaborate on testosterone use and why you stay? I don't stay away from testosterone. I just stay away from testosterone pellets. Mega doses of testosterone for women, not good. Optimizing testosterone levels for women, very important. So while women, we make testosterone, and testosterone is very important for us as women, but we have a sweet spot. So we don't want our testosterone levels to be 10 times what they should be, and we don't want our testosterone levels to be 10 times less than they should be. We want them to be just right. So when I was talking about the testosterone pellet is because it is a massive dose of hormones. And so we see women coming in with 1,000, their testosterone levels measuring in 1,000. For women, 40 to 65 is the optimal level. And so a lot of times if you're feeling like a little sluggish, you're feeling low, you're just feeling blah, a lot of times it could be from either cortisol, or it could be your testosterone could be low. So we definitely support that in the Healthy Hormone Club to get you to optimal levels. But I don't recommend overdoing the testosterone because there are major side effects. There's hair loss, there's weight gain around the midsection, there's irritability, there's facial hair, and then there's also enlargement of the clitoris. And a lot of these side effects are not reversible, meaning that once you do it, then your body starts acting that way. And so that's why I'm against extreme doses of testosterone. I'm not against optimizing testosterone. Let's see, I have a lichen sclerosis, and in getting a biopsy, is getting a biopsy cause problems? Does getting a biopsy cause problems? Is that the question? They want me to start on a steroid topical to confirm and then take internal hormones. I don't want to do that. I want to find an alternative. Should I try using a non-steroid cream? Okay, so I would say for the short term, lichen sclerosis is very painful and uncomfortable. And I would go ahead and use the steroid topical to get it under control. It's not going to be a long-term thing. It's a short term. So they're going to say you're going to use the steroid topical and then you're going to take hormones, and hopefully the hormones will control the issue, and then you won't have to continue taking the steroid topical. But is maca good if I can't afford bioidentical hormones? Maca is a great herb. We like maca for energy and for like helping to balance out the hormones you already have. But maca is not an alternative. It will not produce hormones in your system. It's not an either or. It's like a yes and situation. If you can't afford bioidentical hormones, we have some very affordable options. Look into the Healthy Hormone Club because it's super affordable right now. Is there any collagen plant-based that is good as plant-based collagen? There is not plant-based collagen because collagen is made of animal fibers. There is fish-based collagen if you don't want to do like actual animals. Like if you're pescatarian, you can do fish-based collagen, but there's alternatives. You can use vitamin C helps your body make its own collagen. So there's plant-based ways to help improve collagen, if that's helpful. And then our hormones are plant-based. There's lots and lots of research on estrogen and its ability to help restore collagen and elastin. One of the big things with skin health, particularly with wrinkles and aging, in the first 5 years of menopause, you lose 30% of your collagen. This is why women are like, I feel like I'm like 10 years overnight. It's because we lose so much of that collagen due to the estrogen loss. Estrogen is essential for our body building and maintaining its collagen structures, which I'm talking about our skin and our appearance, but that's also really important for our ligaments and our joints. And a lot of our structures in our body are made of collagen. So estrogen is so important. Okay, let's see. We use topical DHEA in our practice to improve testosterone levels. So in women, when DHEA is applied topically, it converts that 50% to testosterone. So that will raise your testosterone levels and also improve your DHEA levels, which is also a very important androgen that has similar impact in the body. And it's also what we refer to as the youth hormone in endocrinology. So you don't want to skip out on DHEA, and then topical DHEA will convert to testosterone in women. So usually that is enough to get your testosterone levels at or above the range that we want them. So we have to sometimes dial back to get your testosterone levels in range to where you actually feel your best. In the United States, testosterone is not FDA approved for women as of just yet. So that's why we use the DHEA, topical DHEA, to improve testosterone levels. All right, I'm 47 and I've been part of Glow Natural Wellness for a while, working on my overall health. Still digging into the causes of my symptoms. And so wondering if I started on bioidentical hormone creams, would that cloud my understanding of the progress I'm still trying to make with diet, exercise, detox, improving gut? No, it would only support that. So that's like saying if you found out that, so first you're going to, of course, test your hormones and see if those are a problem. So if your hormones are deficient, it's if you found out that you were deficient in vitamin D and you didn't supplement your vitamin D because you wanted to see if your lifestyle and diet and stress reduction would help that. No, you would supplement the vitamin D because that's going to help everything that you're doing on the diet, lifestyle, exercise front to be supported. Same thing about hormones. So if you are working on, anxiety, hair loss, brain fog, and you're doing all of the hard work, all the lifestyle pieces, and you're missing out on your estrogen, progesterone, and DHEA and testosterone, you might be like struggling. You might be working harder than you need to, because once you support your body's hormones that it so desperately needs, then your efforts for detox will work better. Your efforts for weight loss will work better. Your efforts for improving your hair, skin, nails, mental health, those will all work better when your hormones are adequately balanced. So I think it is definitely a companion. It's definitely supportive. Both are very important. I don't recommend stopping doing all those lifestyle practices just because you're using hormones. Like, that's not going to help you. You want to do the two together a holistic hormone replacement program is going to be your best bet. Let's see, is there a way to talk to someone to see if my program is a great fit for me? Absolutely. During regular business hours, you can call our phone number on our website. We have awesome customer service. So you can email support@glownaturalwellness.com and ask to speak to a hormone specialist. They're more than happy to chat with you. Or you can call us at, let me go to contact page. If you go to fixhormones.com/contact, it's 855-928-4442. If you call during regular business hours, you will get a call back, or you might get the phone answered too, depending on if we're available to answer the phone. But a lot of times, because we are a small staff, I think we have 6 customer service representatives right now. Sometimes we'll have to give you a call back if we're already on the line with somebody else. But the number again is 855-928-4442. We are more than happy to speak with you. We love chatting, so don't ever feel like we can't talk to you. We definitely will do that, and we can definitely set you up with a hormone specialist to explain the program, ask you some questions, and make sure it is a right fit for you. Absolutely, no problem at all. See, I had a hysterectomy 14 years ago. Not me, I'm answering the questions again. I just started talking, so I thought you guys might think I was telling a story, but this is one of the questions. I had a hysterectomy over 14 years ago. I have started experiencing low hormones over the last 2 to 3 years. Low energy, fatigue, brain fog, weight gain are my enemies. I tried a troche of testosterone with bad side effects, as well as the injections. I was taking estradiol pills and had a bad estrogen dump. What can I do? My hormone numbers are very low. Unfortunately, Stephanie, I feel like you got some bad advice when it comes to hormone replacement. You got like all of the modes of delivery that I don't recommend. You had a hysterectomy, which is removal of your uterus. I'm guessing that they left your ovaries because you didn't start having the low hormone symptoms until 2 to 3 years ago. A lot of times, even when the ovaries are left in, when a hysterectomy, when we do a partial hysterectomy, was what it called, when you just remove the uterus and leave the ovaries, then a lot of times usually within 5 years, hormone manufacturing and output starts to decline in a lot of women, even though they still have their ovaries. Looks like you had a long run, but now what that means is that your low energy, your fatigue, your brain fog, your weight gain, these are symptoms of low estrogen and progesterone. So it was probably a man who you went to see as a doctor, and they gave you testosterone, but probably didn't test your hormones, probably didn't give you any estrogen and progesterone. And so bad side effects on the troche. Those of you who don't know what a troche is, it's like a little tablet that you let dissolve in your mouth, like a sublingual, which I think sublingual is a good delivery method as well. A lot of times though, you just end up swallowing a lot of it. So it becomes half oral, half sublingual a lot of times, but there's ways that you can get around that, that we can talk about at a later date. But that did not work for you. Okay, then you went to injections. Women should never get testosterone injections. I'll just say that. Bad delivery method. Probably also a man who never got any training in female hormone replacement. Then, which most doctors and gynecologists and endocrinologists only get less than 1 hour training in menopause. They don't get any training in perimenopause. Most of them don't even know what that is. And 0 training in menopause hormone replacement, meaning replacement of hormones for women who have hit the menopause transition. 0 training. So this is why this is happening. And then you were giving estradiol pills, which also bad delivery method for estradiol. Estrogen should not be delivered orally. So your hormone levels are very low. Okay, so I would recommend transdermal hormones. I would recommend first getting your hormones tested. Then I would recommend getting topical hormones that are customized to your needs and what you're dealing with, and having that lifestyle piece too. So the holistic component, making sure that you're detoxing your hormones, making sure that you're getting the proper nutrition, making sure the lifestyle is there. So I would recommend for you specifically the Healthy Hormone Club. I think it's going to be perfect for you. You're going to get the support that you need, and we're going to dial things in specifically to you. dose you exactly what you need. And so you can have that energy, get rid of the brain fog, start losing the weight, start having better blood sugar balance, start just feeling better, avoid heart disease, avoid osteoporosis, avoid Alzheimer's, avoid all those things in your future that are also risks associated with low hormones. So most people don't realize that your hormones being low is a risk. So I get asked all the time, oh, are hormones safe to take? Is there any risk with hormone replacement therapy? But the big risk is not replacing your hormones, because it's very well documented that estrogen deficiency is tied to insulin resistance, and estrogen deficiency is tied to Alzheimer's and tied to osteoporosis and tied to weight gain and tied to all the things. In fact, I'm going to be doing a video on this. I didn't have time to do it because I was traveling, but I just was going through some research about how estrogen deficiency decreases the release of glucagon-like peptides in the stomach, specifically GLP-1. And do you guys know what GLP-1 is? That is the big peptide. It's what people take Ozempic to try to get that to release, to help with insulin metabolism, to help with weight loss, to help with appetite. And what they found was that in both mice and humans, when estrogen is depleted, you don't make as much of this enzyme, your insulin resistance goes up, your weight gain goes up, your obesity goes up. But when you replace the estrogen, guess what? You make more GLP-1, your insulin and your blood sugar get balanced, you lose weight. And it was just like so eye-opening that there's been this whole big craze about doing all these things and taking all these medications that have all these side effects. And are they healthy? Are they not? Is people spending all this money when they could just be like optimizing their hormones and their health? So I really think you would benefit from the Healthy Hormone Club. And if you need to find out about that, it's healthyhormoneclub.com. You can just go to that, or you can go to fixhormones.com and click on join. The healthyhormone.com will get you there right now. Everything's on sale. We have 2 different levels. They're both on major sale. So definitely check that out. Let's see, I had breast cancer when if I had breast cancer that was estrogen positive, could taking HRT now at age 74 encourage cancer to come back? No. Estrogen positive breast cancer simply means that you have estrogen receptors on that breast tissue. What that means is that the cancer has not progressed far enough to kill that estrogen receptor. It doesn't mean that estrogen caused your cancer. In fact, it's not estrogen that causes cancer at all. It is DNA damage that causes cancer. It's stem cells that cause cancer. If estrogen caused cancer, then every woman in her 20s would be getting cancer. So there's no risk for you in getting your cancer back because you're taking estrogen due to the fact that it was estrogen receptor positive. All that means is that breast tissue still has an estrogen receptor on it. All healthy breast tissue has estrogen receptors on them, as does your brain tissue, as does your bone tissue. There's receptors for estrogen on most organs in our body. So that is not the problem. I definitely would say that if you look on like the American Breast Cancer Society, the American Cancer Society, they all agree that bioidentical topical estrogen has no increased risk for cancer and also improves quality of life for breast cancer survivors, and also reduces risk of reoccurrence. And also, if people who have breast cancer are on bioidentical topical estrogen, it improves their outcome, meaning that they have less horrible circumstances with their cancer. They're resolved quicker without any incidents. And yeah, the estrogen is protective for your cancer. I do recommend topical, and I do recommend a combination of estradiol and estriol, because estriol has an added benefit, an added cancer protective benefit. So if you're going to replace your estrogen, I do recommend a combination of estradiol and estriol. How long would you recommend staying on HRT? I've been taking bioidentical cream since ever since menopause at age 46, 16 years basically. you can take it till the day you die. Because basically, once you go through menopause, your body is no longer making estrogen and progesterone anymore. You make a little bit of testosterone from your adrenal glands, and some of that testosterone can convert over to a very small amount of estrogen. And then your fat cells will make something called estrone, which is a very weak form of estrogen, but doesn't do all the same things that estradiol does. So basically, essentially, you're not making your hormones anymore. And so if you want the benefits of those hormones, you really do have to continue replacing them. And so you can replace them for the rest of your life, as long as you said you're on bioidentical creams. Those are 100% safe, 100% identical to what your body is used to and expecting. So there is no risk in continuing, is actually a risk in stopping. So I would just keep going until the day you die. And that is what I will do. And that's, if you talk to Michelle Obama or Oprah or any of these celebrities that are now speaking out about their hormone replacement, they all say the same thing, because you just want to keep feeling great. It's almost like, how long should I be brushing my teeth for? Do I need to do that forever? As long as you want your teeth to be clean and sparkling and not get cavities, yes, you have to keep doing it, because your body's not going to magically start making its hormones again. So if you want to keep all the benefits, then yes. Now, if you, for some reason, said, oh, I don't want to keep replacing my hormones, then you would still have the compounded benefits of all the years that you've been taking your hormones. So you would still be extending out any risk. And so while stopping now, you'd start to have some like slow deterioration, it would still be much later than it would have been had you not taken the hormones. You still have that compounded benefit of taking them for all that time. But if you want to continue with the energy and the mood and the help with the vaginal dryness and all the things that hormones do for you, then I would just keep going. There's no risk. There used to be, and there still is, doctors will say, oh, you can only take hormones for 5 to 10 years tops, and then you have to stop. Again, when they say hormones, they are talking about horse estrogen. They are talking about medroxyprogesterone acetate. They're talking about these synthetic compounds that are not really like your body is expecting, and they do have those side effects. So you just, if something is a little bit toxic, you want to take it for as short amount of time as possible. Okay, yeah, like we understand that these are helping your hot flashes and these are helping with all your side effects in menopause. So you can have it for a little while, but then you got to stop because it's dangerous, which is really not funny, but it's really ironic that a lot of these medications for bone loss, they're like, you can only take it for a very short amount of time because it was actually bad for your bones. And I'm like, what do you mean it's bad for your bones? And so my aunt was taking, I think it was, I don't remember, Boniva. It was one of the bone loss medications, but she only was able to take it for a short amount of time because the side effect was fractures. And so I'm like, you got to stop doing that. We got her on estrogen. It was like a year and a half later, she went from osteoporosis to osteopenia, and we haven't tested again because it hasn't been long enough. Conventional medicine. That doctors are doing their best. They're trying to help, but that's the tools that they have. Let's see, I have high cortisol levels. How is that affecting the balance of my other hormones? So when your body is making its own hormones, like when you are pre-menopause, when you're still cycling, having a high cortisol can impact your body's ability to make progesterone. So think of your hormones like building blocks, right? So they're all made of cholesterol, they're steroid hormones. So they're all made of the same raw materials. And so if you're constantly making too much cortisol, it's usually because your body senses stress in some way. So it could be financial stress, it could be emotional stress, it could be physical stress. No matter what it is, your body's in this heightened state of stress. And so it's making this cortisol. So from a physiological standpoint, your body is knowing that stressful state means that you need to run and fight. You need to do something to survive. Survival is your number one concern. So what you don't need to be doing is having sex and babies, right? So it's going to tamp down the energy reserves that's diverting to your ovaries to make estrogen and progesterone. That's not important right now, so you'll probably skip periods. And we're going to focus on this adrenaline, this cortisol, all epinephrine, all the stress hormones they're getting the attention because we need to run, we need to fight, we need to deal with this tiger, this murder, whatever it is. And so that's one aspect. Then also cortisol is made from cholesterol, and the raw materials you only have a limited amount. So that it actually uses up the raw materials that you need for your other hormones. So that's the twofold way that works. So if you're making your own hormones, yes, high cortisol can affect that. If you're replacing your hormones, if you're taking your hormones from an outside source, it won't really impact those hormones because we are determining how much we're putting in the body. And so that's not going to affect it. However, it can affect how you feel on those hormones, because stress can cause anxiety, stress can cause fatigue, it can cause difficulty sleeping. So it can affect your outcomes. So you definitely want to address the high cortisol. You can do that with, of course, meditation. You can do it with breath work. You can do it with adaptogenic herbs. Daily Glow is awesome because it has a lot of adaptogens. If you have trouble sleeping, Glow PM is our nighttime formula that has ashwagandha, which is great for stress resilience, but also a lot of calming herbs to help tamp down that heightened state of stress. And then also it could be a food sensitivity. It could be a toxin that you're being exposed to, like mold. So identifying why you're having that high cortisol is probably a really good first step, but you don't have to not replace your hormones. If your hormones are also low, that in itself can be somewhat of a stressor as well and make it harder for you. I'm sorry, I keep shaking. I'm on this weird desk, you guys, and it's not stable. So I'm trying not to touch the desk because I keep shaking the camera. But yeah, so you want to address the high cortisol, but you can definitely support your hormones in the meantime, and it's not going to affect the balance of hormones that you're replacing. But if you're still making your own hormones and you're not using hormone replacement therapy, then your high cortisol could absolutely affect it. Do you recommend taking Daily Glow before you take your test? You don't have to make any changes to your supplements as long as they do not contain hormones. So you can totally take your Daily Glow as you normally would. However, if you're talking about your hormone tests, your hormone trio test, you want to take that within the first half hour of waking. And ideally you would wake up, you'd rinse your mouth out, and I wouldn't recommend eating or drinking before the test. I would just recommend taking your test, doing that, and then having breakfast, and with your breakfast, having your Daily Glow. So hopefully that's helpful. You want to take that test first thing in the morning. It's going to especially be important for your testosterone levels because testosterone is highest in that first hour. Let's see, if I have fibroids, could HRT increase my estrogen too much and create more fibroids? So the answer to that is it could if you're on the wrong doses. So if you are balancing your hormones, then it should improve your fibroids. If you are just willy-nilly taking hormones or going to someone who does not test your hormones and just giving you a quote unquote standard dose, or going to whoever that practitioner that poor Stephanie went to, who was just giving her injections and mega doses and all this stuff, yeah, that would cause problems with your fibroids and probably make them worse. But you definitely, if you are balancing your hormones, it will not make your fibroids worse. It will actually help your fibroids. A lot of times, if you're having fibroids due to hormonal imbalance, you're going to be in what we call estrogen dominant state, and then we probably would not give you more estrogen. We probably balance it out. But if your fibroids are due to toxic exposure or some other reason, then that might not be the case. But we will see when we test your hormones. That's going to be the best way to know. What about taking pumpkin supplements to increase your estrogen while in menopause? There is no actual clinical research to support that. So pumpkin supplements will not increase your estrogen in menopause. And you might be talking about pumpkin seeds and phytoestrogens, but it's not going to increase your estradiol or your estriol. Estradiol is what is the main estrogen that helps with your bone health, your heart health, your brain health, your mood, your skin, your collagen, all of those things. So it's not going to increase those. Let's see. I just joined your hormone club and wonder if I should have joined your other program, or is it good to do both? So if you need your hormones replaced, the Healthy Hormone Club is the way to go. If you're looking for lifestyle strategies to support gut health, to support detoxification, to help with your foundational diet exercise, stress reduction, to really look into nutrient assimilation, see if you have any food sensitivities, to understand functional medicine, basically like a functional medicine at home program. That is our GLOW protocol program. There's no hormone replacement in there. There's no testing in there. So that it's two different things. They definitely work hand in hand, definitely go side by side. So if you have a lot of things that you're trying to discover about your health, or you have things you want to work on, or you just want to optimize your health, they definitely do go hand in hand. And so, yes, you can totally be in both. A lot of people are. But if you want to replace your hormones, then definitely the Healthy Hormone Club that's what it's for. That's what we're doing there. We're testing your hormones, we're replacing your hormones, and we're supporting you in optimizing that replacement. Let's see, for osteoporosis, is a transdermal patch bioidentical? Yes. They could be, and most transdermal patches are bioidentical. However, it's possible to have a synthetic one. But yes, I recommend transdermal, or the creams or patches or gels for topical transdermal estrogen, just estrogen through the skin, however you can get it. Patches can sometimes cause irritation due to the adhesives that are used, because they're chemical adhesives, and you have to have that on your skin all the time. So that's why a lot of women don't like that. And then also, if you're very active like me, I like constantly, like I do a lot of working out, I do CrossFit, swimming, I'm in the water a lot, I shower a lot, and a lot of times the patch just won't stay on for a lot of people. Yeah, that's one of the downsides. Can we take DIM along with BHRT? Yes, I actually usually recommend that, because DIM helps with estrogen detox. It actually works on the estrogen once your body has used it. So it's not going to decrease the level of active, free, available estrogen in your body. It's going to decrease the amount of estrogen that needs to get, or it's going to, decrease the amount of estrogen that is like holding, that needs to get out of the body. So it helps with estrogen detox. So definitely, we usually recommend that for everybody on hormone replacement, whether or not they have issues with estrogen detox, because it's always helpful to just help facilitate that, because of all of the xenoestrogens just in our environment. Even if you're super duper like clean and you shop at Whole Foods and you have all organic stuff, you still are exposed nonstop to xenoestrogen in the environment, and those really help, or those hinder, I should say, your body's ability to detoxify, especially estrogen. And I put it right inside our Daily Glow multiple daily supplements. So you got all your vitamin A, D, C, B, all your vitamins, all your minerals, your adaptogenic herbs, your mineral support, your herbal support for things like stress resilience, for cravings. And then you have your DIM for hormone balance and detox. And so we put it right in there for everybody to take. And so it definitely is totally cool to take alongside your hormone replacement therapy. Why am I still getting hot flashes 15 years after menopause? That is the question. It's because everybody's unique and different, and you are the lucky woman who got the nonstop hot flashes. We have women who are in their 80s and they're still getting freaking hot flashes. Some women are lucky. Everybody's different. And it's not that some women are lucky and you're not lucky. You're probably lucky in other ways. You got something else that these other women want. But one of the things that you got, it makes you unique, is you still have your hot flashes. But everybody experiences menopause completely differently. We have some women who are in our Healthy Hormone Club and they're like, I don't even have any symptoms. And I'm like, why are you here? It's like, I want the longevity. I want to make sure my bones stay strong. I want to make sure that I don't lose my sex drive. I want to make sure that I don't get Alzheimer's, because every woman in my family has either been diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's when they hit 60 years old. But that lady, every woman in her family, Alzheimer's, but she never had a hot flash. So you're getting hot flashes, but maybe you're not going to get the Alzheimer's. So it's a trade-off, and everybody's different and unique. But the good news is hormone replacement therapy can help you. And I don't know if you tried it or you are even on it, or if you're taking it right now and you're just not getting relief, but I totally recommend getting some hormone replacement, getting your hormones tested so you can see on paper what's going on. You can see where your hormones are at. Oh, testing. I got this question a lot. Got my hormones tested and my doctor said my hormones are normal for my age. So yes, if you're 55 years old, it is very normal for your age to have 0 levels of estrogen and progesterone. That's completely normal, because women after age 55 usually do not produce those hormones anymore. So normal for your age is not optimal for your age. So we want you to be optimal for any age. We want you to be optimal for healthy living. And you got to be careful when doctors tell you that things are normal for your age. You want optimal overall. Awesome. Holly, do I have these Q&As every Thursday? I probably should have these every Thursday because they are very popular. I'm going to start doing them more often. I was doing them like every other week for a while, and then life got in the way. I got really busy building that new website. So fixedhormones.com, brand new website. We're super proud of it, but it was a nightmare to get it going. And so I stopped doing the regular Q&As, but I can tell if you guys love these, I actually really enjoy answering questions about hormone replacement and hormones in general. And I just know how important this is because nobody answered these questions for me. And we have hundreds of women on these calls every time I do them. A lot of times I'll post these Q&A replays to my YouTube channel, and we get thousands and hundreds of thousands of views on these videos. And over again, I'm told nobody answers these questions. I've been to doctor after doctor, never answered these questions. No one wants to take the time. And my colleagues think I'm crazy because obviously I'm not charging anybody to be on these calls, but I really feel as women, we need to support each other and we need to share information. And if I have this information, I'm going to share it with you. And then if you have information on like how to deal with my curly hair, I'd love you to share that with me because there are things that I don't know in the world of beauty, in the world of, I don't know, cooking, gardening that I want to know. And so I love it when I follow people in other areas of life in things I'm interested in, but I'm not expert in, when they share information. And so I'm doing what I think that I would love, or younger me would have loved, because maybe many of you don't realize, but when I was only 20 years old, I was diagnosed with primary ovarian failure, which is basically, now they call it primary ovarian insufficiency because we don't like being harsh with words anymore. But basically my ovaries stopped working. And so I was thrust into basically a state of menopause with no hormones. And I had all the symptoms that many of you guys are experiencing at age 20. I could not even drink, and I was having hot flashes and vaginal dryness and all the things. And nobody, not one doctor, and I went and I begged for answers. Nobody would explain anything to me. I didn't even really understand how my cycle worked at that time. Nobody explained that to me. I just knew I had a period and then it went away. And so I think like this type of just open dialogue without any like, you have to pay for something or you have to join a program or you have to do this or you have to, I think this is so important. And I love doing this. And yes, I will try to do these more often. How do you determine the delivery method for BHRT? So that is going to be personal and up to you, but I like to start people on the safest, most effective delivery method. And if that works for them, which it does for 90% of women, then that's what we stick with. And if we have to go to a more risky method because for some reason your body chemistry just did not allow for that to work, then that is something that we'll adjust later. My energy levels are not where I would like them. We should do something about that. So look at all areas. Energy production is your mitochondrial health. So mitochondria are your little powerhouses of your cells, that are little organelles. They require oxygen. So make sure you're breathing deeply. Make sure you're getting proper deep breaths. We talk about this in the Healthy Hormone Academy. A lot of people don't realize that breath is essential for energy. Then you want to make sure you're getting proper nutrition. You want to make sure that you're getting adequate sleep. Hormones are important. Estrogen is the energizer, as is DHEA. So those two hormones, super important for energy. Progesterone, super important for relaxation and sleep. So together they work synergistically. What else? Stress reduction. If you're stressed out, you can be, I know if I have a stressful day, I'm just like, I am so freaking tired. And looking at those things. And then one thing that people often don't talk about is, are you doing something that lights you up? Are you doing something that you're excited about every day? When you wake up, are you like, yeah, I'm going to go tackle this. I'm excited about this. Or are you living your life in a way where you hate your job, you hate your husband, You're not too thrilled about the people who live next door to you. And it's really just, it's like a struggle to get through the day. That alone could be low energy levels, and it might have nothing to do with your hormones. But hormonally, thyroid, estrogen, testosterone, and DHEA, those are the hormones, and cortisol. Those are hormones associated with low energy or energy issues. Mitochondria is the energy system. So make sure you're eating healthy fats and protein. Make sure you're getting a balanced diet and you're getting your minerals, because minerals are like your spark plugs for your energy levels. So just making sure you're doing well balanced. And I don't really know, I can't say why your particular energy levels are low, but even being dehydrated. I traveled yesterday almost all day on a plane with kids and a cat. And I did not drink enough water, because you're sitting on that plane and they hardly give you anything to drink. And you can't bring your water really in the airport that much. And I had to keep dumping out my water. Anyways, I was dehydrated. I was exhausted until I rehydrated. It took me until 3 o'clock today to rehydrate. And so it could just be energy levels or water, or it could be many different things. Okay, hi, I'm 70. I'm going to use your HRT program. I'd like to know what the chance is that it will help me at this age. There is a high chance. We have so many women. I thought that everyone was going to be in their 40s that joined the Healthy Hormone Club, and just late 40s, early 50s, just starting menopause. Most of our, not most, we have a very high, probably 30% of our members are in the 65 to 75 age range. And they are our biggest fans. We get the most rave reviews because they're like, and my life has changed. And so definitely you will get awesome results. The only downside I would say of starting at age 70 is if you have never used hormones before, you have all that time from, let's say 55, let's say you went to menopause at 55. So you have 15 years of living without your hormones. And so during that time, you might have had some degradation to your bones, and you probably had some little plaques forming in your brains, and your blood vessels might have gotten weaker, and your collagen went away a little bit. And so you have all these starting like behind the starting line. Like if everyone's starting on the starting line, you have to start a little bit back because you lost some traction. But using your hormones are going to actually help. Let me read the rest of this question, because maybe there's more information. Oh, so you did use hormones until, let's see, you got cancer and you had to go off of them. Then you had a 10-year break from bioidentical hormones. Yeah. So you're actually not that far back behind the starting line, because you did have some hormones. So 10 years, you're totally fine. It's not too late for you. That person who told you too late, they're talking about synthetic hormones. Because they're worried about all of the negative side effects that come with synthetic hormones. But topical bioidentical hormones, super safe. They're going to just help enhance your life, your brain health, your body composition, your metabolism, your energy levels. You are going to love it. So welcome. We're super excited to have you. How long can you safely be on bioidentical hormones? As long for the rest of your life. I think that it's actually unsafe to not be on bioidentical hormones after you lose your hormones. So it's totally safe, as long as, I guess I have to preface this, because you can be on bioidentical hormones, but you can be on a total wrong dose for you, and you can be taking them orally. So if you are on the right dose and delivery method for you, so topical, bioidentical, dosed appropriately for what you need, meaning we're testing your levels and we're dosing you based on those tests and your symptoms. So we never treat test results solely. We're going to do test results and symptoms, but we want to make sure that you're balanced, and we want to make sure you're detoxing your hormones well and you're metabolizing them well. And yeah, so it's safe to use bioidentical hormones, but you want to be working with someone who understands you and is testing your levels and really just monitoring how you feel and staying on top of things, and not just like giving you hormones and never talking to you again. I used progesterone cream for several years, but didn't notice any improvements. Can you explain the difference between estrogen cream and what it would relieve compared to progesterone? Okay, so those are two different hormones. And so estrogen has different benefits than progesterone. Progesterone is mainly, it's really important for our sense of calm. It's important for sleep. It's important for protecting the uterus. It's important for helping to facilitate or to sustain a healthy pregnancy. But once you're postmenopausal, and if you have a lot of times doctors who don't really understand all the hormones will say if you've had a hysterectomy, you don't need progesterone at all, and they only will replace estrogen. But I believe that you should have your hormones balanced, because progesterone is helpful for your thyroid. Progesterone is helpful for your skin and your bones. Progesterone is helpful for your brain health, and it's helpful for your mood. And so those are the main, and for sleep. So those are the main things that progesterone is helpful for. And then estrogen is like most of the things that you think about menopause is estrogen. So hot flashes, your body's temperature regulation, protecting from urinary tract infections, helping with vaginal dryness, helping with atrophy, helping with your skin collagen, heart health, brain health, bone health, joint pain, ringing in the ears, depression, anxiety, the list goes on and on. So estrogen does like all those things. So you probably would need a combination of balanced estrogen and progesterone. Did you say 100 grams of protein daily? I did say that. So 100 grams of protein daily is like the minimum that I recommend if you're over 5 feet tall. If you're super short, like if you're 4'11", then you can go at 80 grams of protein. But I personally, I'm 5'5", maybe I'm 5'4.5", but I like to say 5'5". And I eat about 150 grams of protein per day. And it's really not that hard to do. I actually have on my, like right here, my little notebook, a video that I'm going to make on how I get my protein in. And just how you get your protein in all day is actually not hard at all if you have a protein-centric way of looking at your nutrition, which I do. Like I'm always, anytime I'm thinking about a meal or a snack, I'm thinking, where's the protein? And I do it with my son too. My son will like, if he wants, I don't know, like if he wants like pizza or mac and cheese or something like that, I'm like, okay, you can have that, but you have to have protein first. And so I'm always like, where's your protein? Where's your protein? And he knows like, where's the protein? And so that's how you have to think. And that is how I plan my snacks. That is how I plan my meals. And so it's always centered around protein, healthy fat, and then whatever else I want. And so I'm not keto. I'm not, carnivore. I'm not any of those things. I eat everything, but I focus on protein first and make sure I get my fiber and healthy fats. And so yes, 100 grams of protein. That's going to help with your muscles. It's going to help with your skin, your bones, your brain health. The amino acids are really important for everything in your body. So yes, that is the best way to go. Can you tell us more about how alcohol consumption affects our hormone health, or is it more of a general risk? So alcohol is a poison, it's toxin. And so when you drink alcohol, how it impacts your hormones mainly is this. So our liver, super important for conversion of our hormones, like especially thyroid conversion from inactive to active, and detoxification of our hormones. So estrogen detox. When you consume alcohol, your body is like, all right, we have a poison. Stop everything else. Liver, don't worry about the thyroid. Don't worry about the estrogen. We need you to stop doing that. And we need you to deal with this alcohol. And also that fat burning that's taking place, that has to stop too, because we need to deal with this alcohol. And so all the things you want to do, burn fat, detox estrogen, convert your thyroid, have a healthy metabolism, those are all put on hold while your body deals with that poison that is alcohol. Also, most alcohol produced in the United States is full of mold and toxins and things that are really bad for you and that hurt your body's detoxification systems and your mitochondria, which are your energy production systems. So that's why alcohol is not good. Should you never drink alcohol? If you're going to drink alcohol, I'd recommend drinking alcohol that's not from the United States. And then also just doing it in moderation, like 1 or 2 drinks per week. If you can drink no alcohol, that's better. You have to enjoy your life. Everything I do is like the 80-20 rule, because the reason why you're here right now, the reason why you've been listening to me talk for an hour and a half is because you want to live a better life. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to have sex. You want to have relationships. You want to go out and have fun. You want to have friends. You want to have a good life. And so part of that includes enjoying yourself, parties, sometimes having a drink if that's what you enjoy. And so I want you to be able to do that, but understand your risks as well, and definitely don't overdo it. Can you reverse that wrinkling and sagging in your face if you do hormone replacement? Oh, I thought you were talking about my face at first. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with my face? But you can't. So you can build more collagen and you can have more elastin. So you can definitely improve. But depending on how much sagging you currently have, you might need some procedure. You might want to do some really good skincare, red light therapy, microneedling. There's some great lasers. So there's other things that you'll want to do in addition, but the estrogen and the progesterone and the hormone replacement will prevent further sagging and can definitely turn back the clock. There are some studies right now on estrogen and actually reversing sagging, reversing jowls, improving fine lines and wrinkles. So yes, there is some improvement, but it's not going to be a facelift or anything like that. So I don't want to lead you down the wrong path of thinking that it's the new fountain of youth. Like you still will likely need some really good skincare. I use red light therapy. I do microneedling. So I love like skincare things. And so you'll want to do some things, and then drinking water, eating a really healthy diet. Those are all really great for your skin. You are so welcome. Everyone who's thanking me for answering their questions, just know you are so welcome. I am so happy to do this for you. Let's see. I was making my own wild yam cream before. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. For taking your progesterone and wondering if your progesterone cream is progesterone or wild yam. All right. Our progesterone cream, you'll see it says on the label USP progesterone. That means that it is actually progesterone is actually in the cream. Now, the tie-in with the wild yam is that there is a chemical compound inside of yams called diogenin. And that diogenin is what is actually used as the basis for bioidentical hormones to be made. So there's no yam inside the bioidentical hormone creams, but the hormone itself is actually derived from that chemical compound in the yam, but it is actually, there's a few of the carbons and oxygens that have to be removed in order to turn it into the bioidentical progesterone, bioidentical estrogen, bioidentical testosterone, bioidentical DHEA. And so eating wild yams or making a cream made of wild yams, the body cannot do that conversion. That has to be done in a lab. So there's no benefit to eating yams for your hormones anyway. It's not you can't make your own unless you have a very high-tech state-of-the-art lab that's like an FDA approved facility monitored by the United States Pharmacopoeia. If you have that, then yes, you can make your own hormones, but it's not the same. It's not herbalism. It's not any of that. It is actually hormones. So United States Pharmacopoeia, USP progesterone, USP estrogen, USP testosterone, or USP DHEA. So it's different than actual yams. Okay, how long does this last? I started at age 56, and I'm 69 now. This year I asked my doctor, should I have my hormones tested? And she said, because I'm postmenopausal, I didn't need to. She discouraged taking hormone replacement because of the risky side effects. So I would say you're 56, you're not, no, you're 69. Definitely not too old to take hormones. Yes, your hormones are probably going to be low because you're postmenopausal, but you can still test your hormones because we have tested women at all ages and they've had either different levels of estrogen, maybe their estrogen is a little high due to a fibroid or something else going on. We've seen testosterone levels that are imbalanced. So it's always a good idea to get your baseline hormones to be tested. And then it's definitely not out of question to want to replace your hormones. We talked about this earlier when the woman who is 70 asked about replacing her hormones. So you're never too old to feel good. You're never too old to restore that deficiency in your hormones. And so if you want to have things like healthy bones, healthy brain, a healthy heart, if you want to have the energy, restore the vaginal dryness, all of the benefits, you can still have those no matter what age you are. And if you're 69, I said the average life expectancy as of right now is 89. So for the next 20 years, don't you want all those things? Or do you want to be slowly declining? Or do you want to be improving every day? Do you want to have that energy, that vibrance, that youthfulness? Personally, I want that. I want the vibrance. I want the youthfulness. I want to know that every day when I wake up, things are getting better. And so unfortunately, your doctor probably didn't get any training in hormone replacement. She's probably just doing what the standard of care is. And unfortunately, for women who are postmenopausal, standard of care is just treat your symptoms and you're pretty much done. And it's just what you have to deal with. And that's what they'll tell you. They're like, oh, this is part of life now. You're not a spring chicken anymore. And I say, no, you get to live your life how you want it. And that is one of the reasons why we offer the Healthy Hormone Club. So definitely, you're not too old. You're not too old to have a great life. So I am going to go ahead and end this now, but I so appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And let me know if you have more questions. I will do another one of these in 2 weeks. Someone suggested that I do these more often. Stay tuned for my next hormone Q&A. We'll definitely do this. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, and if you want to join the Healthy Hormone Club, it's healthyhormoneclub.com. Take care, you guys. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.